Good afternoon, everybody. Well, good evening, I suppose. It's me, George Morgan here, and I'm with my good colleague and friend, Maku. Maku, how are you doing, sir? Hope you're keeping well.
Yeah, we have to stay home all during this Corona time. So, and yeah, I'm doing my best, getting a little bit of fresh air like every day, and yeah, then you should be okay now.
Yeah, I think so. And obviously, now that we've got the game back underway, do apologise. We've had a couple of technical difficulties with a couple of microphones. Unfortunately, Discord having a bit of fun with us at the start of this stream. But we're just back with you now and still got lots of qualifying time remaining. Jarno Opmeer here in this social stream, taking the early P1 spot. And as I see that, Speed Barry comes along in the Silver Arrows and puts himself on top, a 1:12.581. Incidentally, folks, if you're confused about why the cars are differing from that in the World Championship, like I did say before, this is a social race. Therefore, this is why you see Speed Barry in the Mercedes and Jarno Opmeer in the Williams. Maku, what are your thoughts and feelings now we're heading into the social race? Naturally, not as much pressure on today's event, naturally, though I suppose everyone wants to go out there and do their very best, but at the same time, they haven't really got a lot to worry about.
Yeah, of course they don't have like the pressure on it or from the championship, but though they all have they all want to have fun and everybody wants to win. It's a normal race for everybody, and we have some people in the lobby today who aren't normally in our league, who will race it with us today.
We certainly do. So it's very much a mixed grid, and obviously a few notable names. Obviously James Baldwin, known by lots as Veloci James, here on track here today, strutting his stuff with some of the very best that ORL has to offer. It'd be interesting to see where he finishes in this event. Obviously, Jarno and Speed Barry have been battling it out together for the top end of the World Championship, and no doubt this is a good way to get a mental advantage over your opponent going into the rest of the season. It may be a social race, but it doesn't mean competition's off the table, does it, Maku?
No, it certainly does not. And yeah, it's kind of a speed check for everybody. We normally should have a week pause from racing, but now the drivers have getting again a feeling for each other. I mean, Austria is a very short track with a lot of straights, just 9 corners. It's not easy though. But yeah, I think it's a fun circuit where you can overtake much, where you can really have a nice race. Yeah.
It's certainly had many names over the years. The A1 ring, I remember it being. It's also known as the Oster ring, I suppose. But it's but basically because it's in Austria. We are obviously at the place of Spielberg. The new name for it, obviously, the Red Bull ring, sponsored by the homeboys Red Bull. Here today, adopted today by Hayes, who is currently in the pits. Looking further down, Triton Matthias, who is also in the pit lane. Red Bull yet to make an appearance here in this special event here in qualifying. Though Speed Barry still heads to the table at the moment with a 1:12.581. Jarno Opmeer out on outlap. Very keen to obviously try and topple that of Speed Barry off the top step at this stage. Steve also out and about. He goes into P3, and the prancing horses maybe not faring that well in the championship, but looking strong already. Steve going P3, Maku.
Yes, maybe with some new faces up there, maybe with some new battles. But yeah, of course, we expect like Jarno and Speedberry, a good battle up there, and yeah, we know a lot of the people, so yeah, we'll see a lot of battles, and I think the times will get even better because now the rain's clearing a little bit up, and DRS is now enabled, so it's slowly getting time for the softs, and as the track gets even drier, we will see even faster times. So basically, I think it is. Best chance for a pole is to set your time as late as possible.
Certainly is. Just riding on board now with Michael Tanitsa in the Haas car, just making his way round towards the double left-handers. And these you've got to be very cautious once again on power and braking. Don't want to hit too many of the curbs. Certainly in wet weather, it can cause you a few problems as he makes his way round that left-hander. Very, very smooth. It's almost like a semi-chicane of sorts, as you've got almost like a quick left-right. Now he heads down towards this fast right-hander, and it looks like he's got pitting on his mind. He's just following Steve into the pit lane now, so it's going to be no fast lap from him just yet. But we're just on board now with Screepy, and a new name certainly for the ORL people. He makes his way around towards the home stretch. I'm guessing this man competes in Division 2?
I'm not sure you mean of ORL.
Yeah.
I could have looked it up quickly, but at least last season he wasn't there. Maybe he's somebody new.
He could well be. Well, he's just coming around the Castrol Edge. Also, the first corner, the Castrol Edge, was renamed the Niki Lauda Curve. He's just heading around Remus now, and they'll be taking the long stretch down towards Schlossgold. And very soon he'll be trying to negotiate his way around that swinging right-hander. It's almost got a little bit of a... it almost reaches a point, then you almost come back on yourself at Schlossgold. As you can see now, you can see Zen James just making way for Screepy to come by as he makes his way around the Roche curve now. And the Roche curve, a very, very tricky curve. If you get it wrong, it can swing you out wide and you can end up in the kitty litter, which is certainly not what you want. So he makes his way around the Wirth curve now. Not to be confused with the Wirth curve at Spain, as they make their way down towards the Rindt corner. Obviously named after the famous Jochen Rindt. The ex-F1 driver coming around the Red Bull Mobile curve now, heading towards the home stretch. What is the Haas driver? Scrippy get a post here. We don't know much about him, but we might do today as he comes over the line in P1 with a 1:10.368. What a phenomenal time, Maku.
Yeah, that is not a bad time. But Trit Matches just got the first 108.
Red Bull will be happy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's their home track, so no. Actually, it isn't, but the track of the Red Bull, like, kind of. Well,
no, they call it the Red Bull Ring, hence I suppose why they call it the home race of sorts.
Yeah, but Red Bull is a which country is the team from?
I'm not overly sure. I just know it's an energy drink, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's that's my knowledge of the fact. But no, naturally, being called the Red Bull Ring, they call it their home Grand Prix on that basis, and who can blame them? And already up in the books now. But obviously, now that the track is getting drier, we're seeing some faster times come out on the circuit. Kruzic being one of them, a 1.08504. Kruzic has been fairly reasonably consistent this season as Speed Barry goes fastest on the soft compound. No surprise there. The man instantly tagging on to the top step of the classifications. We've only got just over 6 minutes left to go. So this means now that a lot of the drivers are going to need to get the skates on and start knocking out some fast laps on the softs, Maku.
Yeah, of course they already started, but there was the track a little bit wet still. And now it should be nearly completely dry, at least the racing line. And yeah, we'll see now some really quick times as we're now already in 107. So yeah.
Yeah, well, Photon now going quickest, a 107.424. Photon not having the best of times in the championship at the moment. We expected a lot from him going into the season. I believe he was last year's champion. And I can imagine that being a lot on the shoulders of a single driver as Hayes now goes fastest for Red Bull. Red Bull enjoying the top step right now with Hayes knocking together the first 106 of the session, a 106.849, and he's got to be pleased with that. Ark Verstappen is now in P3. Looking further down, Calcifer maintaining that P4 position after knocking Speed Barry off the top. This social race could throw up a few surprises because we could be seeing some very different names on the top spot with Jarno Opmeer now dropping down to P13. Obviously, he hasn't set a dry lap yet. We'll just ride on board with him just to see what he posts because he's just about to come around as CRG Common. Incidentally, that's Camel Common for all of you guys who aren't aware. And he's just recently signed for the CRG esports team and looking to really make a name for himself. And he's already done that. He's gone P1 in the latter stages of qualifying. I'm not sure. I think he might have DNF'd going around the Licky Lauda curve there.
Oh yeah, he unfortunately did.
Well, he's ended up in the wall, and that's not ideal, but let's see if his time is beaten, because now we see Jarno Opmeer make his way up towards the Remus curve, and very important you get a good exit out of Remus, because it can give you leverage heading down towards Schlossgold. So as he comes out, he does indeed go fastest in Sector 1, but what can he do going into Sector 2 now as he bombs his way down the straight? You can see the Rocket Williams car firing on all cylinders down towards Schlossgold. Like I said, very tricky corner. Get it wrong, you're in the kitty litter. Makes his way down. Steve automatically knocks Common off the top step with a 106.270. And that's a good time. Ferrari in reasonable form. They've got a man in P1 and P4 with Photon as James Baldwin, Veloci James, breaks the 105s with a 105.306. Oh, I gotta say, the Prancing Horses really in trouble at the moment now because the little apprentice has just come along and knocked them off. Who needs a Ferrari shell when you've got Ferrari engines, Maku?
Yeah. you can just take the and now Jarno Opmeer takes with the Williams the pole position, and now we have Williams and Alfa Romeo in first and second spot. Would be kind of funny in real life, wouldn't it?
It would be interesting and funny. Yes, I'd agree with you. I don't think we'd expect it. We've got to give Williams a little bit of credit though this season, because after testing it looked like they fielded a pretty strong car going into the testing period at Spain, and it's encouraging to see that they were already beating the qualifying times they were putting out on the track last season, which is really good and gives us all, I think, a little bit of hope for the future, because I got to say I have a little bit of a soft spot for Williams, and always will do. I mean, I was brought into Formula 1 back in '96, the year that Damon Hill won the championship. And obviously the year after my first full season of watching Formula 1, I witnessed Jacques Villeneuve picking up the World Championship, which was absolutely stupendous. I had a bit of a soft spot for Heinz-Harald Frentzen as well, and I got to say I was a tiny bit gutted that he ended up leaving the team the way he did. He ended up joining Jordan, but no, it's that's what happens in Formula 1. There's changeovers happen all the time. It's like Frank Williams used to say, he didn't used to say it, but after a couple of incidents involving drivers in the past, he got to a point where he wasn't getting too close to his drivers, and therefore tried to stay emotionally detached from them, which you can't really blame him. Like I say, F1's a dangerous sport, and at the end of the day, accidents happen, very, very easily, and unfortunately you've witnessed a few of those over the years. But nonetheless, we enjoy it, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, you don't know, maybe last year Williams' car performance was just bad, but you don't know, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, maybe they're up again on the podiums.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, they're not short of funding. I mean, they're a very good team, and I got to say they've got so much history on their backs. They've got pedigree in Formula 1, and you can't write them off, and you never can. You can't write any team off. I mean, who would have expected Olivier Panis to win the Monaco Grand Prix all those years ago? No one would have. I wouldn't have done. He had a bit of luck, granted, but he was the fastest man on the track towards the end of the Grand Prix. So you got to give these drivers a little bit of credit. I mean, I remember when Benetton were winning world championships, and they're a clothing brand. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's unbelievable. It's brilliant. Don't get me wrong, because everyone wants to see the underdog win. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. But Jarno Opmeer now on top spot in all that. We were just having a coffee table conversation there, Maku. Jarno Opmeer taking it with a 104.744. We are in squeaky bum time, folks, of this Austrian Grand Prix. And Hayes now currying on his fast lap right now, and his teammate and having to let him through. I think that was Triton Mathias, who's out on a fast lap as well. And I think he might have just automatically stopped his fast lap now. He's on his fast lap right now, heading round towards the next corner. The double left-hander Screepy letting him by as well. The blazing navy blue of the Red Bull car. Won many Grand Prix over the years. They've been a monument of success as well, haven't they, Red Bull? Ever since they were brought into Formula 1, when they bought the famous Jaguar team. Yeah, right.
And they're still up there.
They are.
I mean, at the moment they're not really... they're not like in every race the ones who will be winning, but there's every time a chance. Well, I mean, with the drivers, like Well,
they're not short of money, are they? I mean, they got a lot of funding behind them. They're really good team. They'll always have money behind them. As Hayes goes fastest with a 104.057. Red Bull once again taking top step. They really do love this track, Maku.
Yeah, they really do. It's their own track, and basically, Red Bull, not only they have a lot of funding, like they have like everything. They do air races and stuff like that. So I think money is the smallest problem.
I think it is, and they're built winners, and I think that stems from obviously Christian Horner, who was a born winner, and he only accepts born winners. As Photon now goes fastest and breaks the 103. So does Speed Barry with a 103.778. That's Silver Arrows back on top step now, and Jarno Opmeer after death with a 103.656. The two World Championship challengers giving us a show late in qualifying. We're in extra time, folks, extra time, and the drama has only just kicked off now. Absolutely phenomenal, Maku, phenomenal.
I think we will see such a great battle between those 4 drivers now on the first 4 spots on the grid.
I think
it will be unbelievable.
Oh, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. I thought this was going to be a very relaxed, chilled out session this evening, but obviously not. These guys are out to give us a fight, and I got to say, I'm looking forward to it, especially around Austria. One of my favourite circuits. Very famous, lots of history, and I think we're going to see some more as we go through the classifications now. Jarno Opmeer for the Williams team, making it happen once again with a 103.656. He is closely followed by Speed Barry, not letting him go in Jarno's Mercedes car, let's not forget. Photon in the Ferrari P3. James Baldwin, Veloci James taking P4. Very good outing from him. Kruzic in P5. Hayes in P6. Steve in P7. Matthias in P8. Get Owned in P9, Jake in P10, Janab in P11, Leonard in P12, Skrippy P13, Zenami P14, Calcifer P15, Michael Tonitza in P16, Twin Barrel in P17, and we just missed out 18 and 19, but what a race we have in prospect, and interesting to see Veloci James up there, because he races in many different walks of sims, and he's coming to Formula 1. Obviously I know Formula 1 is he's very competent at that. And I think we've got a late joiner. I think Formula Danny has just joined us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just arrived for the race. So he's going to have to fight from the back to get to the front. So let's see if he can give us a show as well going into the start of this Austrian Grand Prix. I really hope so. I've got to say, Alfa Romeo looking like they have a solid team going into this event, Maku.
Of course. And as far as I remember correctly, he was second, I think, in last year's championship of ORL. He's unfortunately not racing this season, but I think that's just because those guys are on that high level. Like every league wants them, and they pick the best ones, the ones they like the most, and then they race for them.
Well, you can't blame them whatsoever, as they're about to head out now, I believe, on what will be the formation lap. And this is where, like we keep saying every week, folks, this is where they get to warm up the tyres and get ready for the start of this Grand Prix. They want to get as much heat into them, make sure the tyres are nice and sticky, ready to provide the grip going around the first few laps. Obviously, then we'll be experiencing changes to the tyres as a Williams leads the way, something we haven't said in a long time, as they make their way up towards the Remus corner now. Speed Barry in hot pursuit in P2. The Silver Arrows looking to once again trump the field and take P1. Photon with Ferrari's proud history on his back at the moment as they make their way down towards Schloss Gold. James Baldwin in the Alfa Romeo team. Alpha with a lot of stock in great drivers at the moment. Looking further back, Kruzic in P5. Hayes in P6 with the Red Bull team, their home Grand Prix, if you consider the names. Steve, the other Ferrari, in P7. Looking further back, Triton Matthias in P8 for Red Bull. Get Owned in the Toro Rosso. The Raging Bull, the partnership of Red Bull. The sister team, now called AlphaTauri as of this season. AlphaTauri or AlphaTauri, Maku?
I'm not sure. In English, I'm not sure, so I don't know. We just say AlphaTauri.
Yeah, sorry, I just put you on the spot there, mate. Do apologise. Jake in P10 for the yellow Renault team. Looking further back, you've got R.R. Jeneb in the Williams, the sister Williams. So just outside the top 10. Williams with a respectable grid order in today's race. Leonard there in P12, Skrippy in P13, Zename in P14 for the other Silver Arrows, Calcifer, the other Renault P15, Michael Tonitza in P16, Twin Barrel in P17, CRG Common after DNFing earlier on, his time just was not good enough, down to P18, Arc Verstappen in P19, and Veloci Danny making up the numbers down the back. Naturally didn't qualify for this event, but we're going to see him move from the back of the grid. Let's see if he can do it, folks, as we now get ready for the start of this Austrian social event Grand Prix here for ORL. And the lights are about to go red, folks. First light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light! And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go! And Jarno Opmeer gets away well, but so does Speed Barry. We say this every week with Photon just in behind as they make their way around the Niki Lauda curve, looking further back. Kruzic coming into play, James Baldwin. There's a Renault off the track there, that must be Calcifer. He just back Michael Tonitza. Veloci, Formula Danny, moving out to P14. What a start by the eSports man as they come through Remus. Maku, it's phenomenal scenes here.
Oh my god, and it's still really tight. The two McLarens are now at the end, and it was Jake who was caught out. He's now very back. He's just come through the hairpin. and he's now all the way down the grid. He was in 10th position. But we've still got a lot of battles on with Formula Danny going up further the field now, and already in 12th. I think he'll spice up this race a lot because he still needs to get like 10 positions up.
Well, he's not the only one, Maku, because in behind him is CRG Common. And remember, Camel Common actually DNF'd in qualifying after setting a reasonably good lap. And he's back in the frame here. He's in P13. Remember, he started P18 in this Grand Prix. And now he's sitting right behind Formula Danny as Jan Watmia unsurprisingly sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Looking further up, Hayes getting close and personal there. But James Baldwin overtaking Photon through the Niki Lauda curve there. And the two Ferraris now going in tandem in behind their Alfa Romeo. It's the Master versus the Apprentice going up towards Remus. It's not a Harry Potter character, it's a corner. He makes his way through and the Alfa maintains P3. What racing there, Maku? What racing indeed.
Oh my god, this race will be so interesting to watch.
Well,
with Triton matches and Get Owned side by side.
Well, Get Owned, the sister companies really going hammer and tongs here. Hayes and Matthias making up the two Red Bulls. Matthias moving ahead of the Toro Rosso, the sister brand of Red Bull in P9. In behind, R.R. Jeneb fighting off Scrippy as well. Scrippy 6/10 behind him. He is at the mercy of Camel Common, who must have overtaken Formula Danny, who is now in P13. So credit where credit's due. And Common's done it again. He's overtaken Scrippy and moved up to P11. What an incredible drive since that move into CRG. He is really starting to show his colours as they make their way up now towards, well, in commencing lap 3, DRS will be enabled in this lap as they make their way around the Niki Lauda curve. James Baldwin going 8/10 clear of Photon as it stands. The two Ferraris working in tandem here with the Pink Panther of Kruzic just in behind, making their way up now. You can see Steve making a move on Photon, and he's got the inside line as they make their way up towards Slosh Gold now on the exit. And Steve, he holds on, but it's still hammer and tongs down towards Slosh Gold. They have the corner to take, the swooping right-hander, and Steve doing his almightiest to try and keep him off his back. Photon only 2/10 back, really giving us a show, and we got a battle between the two Hasses, Maku.
Yeah, we have now Hasses fighting, Ferrari fighting, I don't know, but it looks like the James Baldwin and Steve and John Opnier just got a little bit of a gap to the two fighting Ferraris. I think they are like, it does not help them to fight. They need to catch up to those at front. I know it's a gap between James Baldwin and Speedberry. But they have to stay at their pace to keep up with them at the front, so they can later on, go for the win.
Yeah, well, bear in mind, James Baldwin is here contesting against these guys who have obviously raced ORL every week. So you could probably say that gives the ORL drivers a bit of an advantage. So whatever James Baldwin's doing at the moment, he's doing it extremely well. He's coming round the Remus corner now. He's only 2 seconds off Speed Barry, and considering that he's been up in a battle between the two Ferrari drivers, it's a testament to his own superb defending, really, as he's now in P3, and that gap is increasing to 9/10, nearly a second, Maku, separating the Ferraris and the Alfa Romeos right now. Just looking further down, CRG Common once again, he has moved up to P9. Remember, Maku, he started P18. That's 9 places he's made since the start of this Grand Prix. But let's not forget, Formula Danny, 4/10 behind Yeneb. He moved from the back of the grid up to his position as well. So that's 8 places from him, likewise. But Camel Common, 9 places better off since the start of this race.
Yeah. But maybe Formula Danny can do... Oh! Someone goes into pits and Formula Danny maybe gets a look. No, he doesn't really. But maybe Formula Danny can do the same thing as Vettel did in Germany. Maybe he can drive from last to second or even to first place.
Well, it means now he's moved up a place now. He's in P11, just looking. He's going to take on Yeneb going up towards Remus. And if he can get in the slipstream, though Yeneb does have DRS on Get Owned, the Toro Rosso now at the mercy of the other Williams and the Alfa Romeo of Formula Danny now as they make their way around Remus. And Formula Danny's got the run-in on the Williams now. He's right in his slipstream, right in the gearbox. And in behind, Michael Tonitza watching every move that Alfa makes as they make their way down towards Slosh Gold. And very soon they'll be taking the exit towards the next double left-handers. That'll be the Wirth curve and the Roche curve. He's just coming round towards the Roche curve now. We're riding on board with Formula Danny. RR Jeneb just ahead of him in the Williams. In behind, a lot of action happening as well with Verstappen now moving alongside the Haas of Scrippy. And Arg Verstappen takes P13. And what a great move from him to move up a place and bring him a step closer towards Scrippy's teammate, Michael Tonitsa. As we look further up now, we can see Veloci Formula Danny in a bit of a battle with Michael Tonitsa now. 2 tenths separating those two as they make their way down the straight. Michael Tonitsa staying on the back end of that Alpha like glue, sticking to it like a man possessed right now as they make their way around the Niki Lauda curve. Very soon they'll be tackling the Remus curve. But further up, we'd be missing out on the battles really between Speed Barry and Jarno, because these two have been going at it mano a mano like we've seen in the World Championship every week. And let's not forget, because they're battling, James Baldwin is now 1 seconds behind them.
Yeah, I think so. He's holding his gap very consistent. He's like always like 1.7. He was 1.9 before, so he has this gap really good managed. And I think if he wants to, he could catch up. But as these guys start battling really hard, they will lose time and he will get closer without really pushing.
Well, it just shows the quality we got on this track today. We got battles all over the circuit. It's hard to really give you guys a full rundown of what we've got all together. Just looking further, though, down the grid, well, in the midfield, I suppose. We're just watching Jeneb now, still fighting off Get Owned, who's in the Toro Rosso, trying to get into the slipstream of that Williams. Jeneb trying to do his dandiest to try and keep Get Owned off his slipstream right now as they make their way towards the Niki Lauda curve. There is literally a minimal, there's like a gap thinner than a fly's eyelash now between these cars. As we see further back, Veloce Formula Danny in P11 getting in to the nitty-grittiest of that Toro Rosso. As we see Ghetto now making his way up into the Remus curve, and he's made the move. He has moved up into P9. Ghetto, the Toro Rosso Raging Bull, moved in to the main crux of the points now. He is in P9, and Jeneb is at the mercy of Formula Danny as they make their way down towards Schloss Gold, but that Williams is still prancing all over the back of the Toro Rosso, and we could be seeing more of this throughout this Grand Prix. We're only in lap 7, folks. A lot going on, and it's been nothing short of phenomenal as we see a car go wide there. I think that was Verstappen just treading in to the kitty litter there, and he does indeed go wide just before the Wirth curve. You have to wonder whether he's struggling with the aerodynamics slightly there, but in behind him, Scrippy in the Haas car, really jumping all over the back end of him, and he perhaps has a little look down the inside to see whether he can make a move, but not today. As we look further back, we got Leonard there in P15, not forgetting Zen Arme, and to be fair, these guys all very, very closely grouped together, so we could be seeing, well, it's definitely a DRS stream right now. They're just literally waiting for one guy to make a mistake to really shake this grid up, Maku.
Yeah, it's absolutely the same with Formula Danny. He just needs this little mistake. I don't think either he's pushing now, but now he goes side by side. He goes to the inside, into the hairpin, and I think he pretty much got this one. He will get DRS one more time, but he got the overtake of Jeneb done. And now Michael Tonitsa, who fall behind for Verstappen. Yeah, he should catch up too if he wants to stay behind Formula Danny.
Yeah, well, he's Formula Danny's going to have to use Get Owned now to try and get the DRS off him. Naturally, there's a gap now between Get Owned and his and the Red Bull compatriot of 3 seconds virtually. So he needs to get into the slipstream of the Toro Rosso as soon as possible, just to at least try and close the gap and bring himself clear from Jeneb, who's currently in P11. Only 4 tenths separating Formula Danny and Jeneb right now. Just looking further up, we missed out on a few battles. James Baldwin going toe to toe with the two Ferraris. Steve now moving into P3. Steve having a great race today. Considering, I mean, naturally every week he's always there and thereabouts in qualifying, but his race pace, it seems to have, he hasn't had the ideal start to the season, but he's showing that he's got talent in this special event here today as they make their way down towards Schloss Gold. And James Baldwin has got a bit of a task on his hands, hasn't he, Maku? He's got Photon only a tenth behind him right now as they make their way down towards the Schloss Gold hairpin. Lock it up there from the front right of that Alfa Romeo as they make their way heading in towards Remus. Steve is slowing down. We've got a safety car, Maku, a safety car.
Who crashed out? I don't know. What happened?
I don't know. We haven't had an incident. No DNF on track as far as I can see. Usually that's the only situation where a safety car will come out, and I can't see any yellow flags anywhere. The only difference I can see is that Kamil Komon is back in the pits once again. So I'm not sure what the situation is, but he's coming out with obviously what may be a new front wing. as we now see Speed Barry come into the pits now for a new set of rubbers. And everyone, I'd imagine, is doing the same. As you can see, the top 8 already diving in the pit lane. And I had a feeling this would happen. Formula Danny is not pitting, and maybe trying to take advantage of the situation that everyone else has pitted and move up into the top step, which he has. So in effect, he's gone from last to first. So credit to the man. He has done it, Maku.
Yeah, but he also got this medium strategy. So I mean, he could go now to softs, not to softs. What am I talking? To hards, then take it to the end. But you know, I mean, we have now mostly of the people are on other mediums. We have just James Baldwin, Fodon, and Calcifer on hards right now.
So trying the one stop, no doubt.
Yeah. I think all of them are, even though they have the mediums, they just trying to hold them on.
Yeah, well, we'll just have a look at the tyre situation now. Yeah, the majority, as we can see there, the few of them have gone for the hards. We've got a few medium runners in there. Kruzich has adopted the medium strategy. We're just looking further back. Hayes there as well. But as we look further down, CRG Common, unfortunately, he's had to pit a couple of times. Just looking further down, yes, we have got quite a few people taking the hard tyres, so credit to them. I mean, obviously trying the one-stop strategy. James Baldwin, obviously with serious intentions on his mind. It could be a good day for Alfa Romeo, the way the odds are stacked right now, given the fact that if the way things are going, the way they're going, with Speed Barry and Jarno Opmeer on the medium tyres, James Baldwin technically in a net P3 position, subject to the cars in front pitting. Yeah, Alfa could be in really good shape by the end of this special event.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, as soon as we get the restart, I think Formula Danny can get some really clean laps, and he can overtake a lot of people just by being much faster than just driving behind a lot of the other guys, because he would needed like 5 people, I think, to overtake, because he was like 10th to be at the top, and now he got a lot of free space at the front. Yeah, maybe get some strategic moves done.
Well, just looking behind James Baldwin now, he's got 3 drivers on medium compound tyres, relatively, well, very fresh tyres in fact. Steve, who has shown a lot of pace here today at the Austrian circuit, and in behind him Kruzich, who has got pace as well in the Pink Panther car, and in behind him Hayes, who looked promising in qualifying, has got fresh mediums on as well. So James Baldwin could be in a lot of pressure. He could be under a lot of pressure, should I say, given the fact that they have the faster compounds on. And the difference in time gaps tend to be more the realms of around about 6 to 7 tenths if you compare the hard tyres to the mediums. So James could have a serious battle on his hands against those three cars, Maku.
Yeah, we have now the information that the safety car comes in. But another one who think the safety car was good for was Krangh, because he's now in, I mean, he's still in 20th, but he was like 20 seconds down, and then he needed another stop. And now he's back at the field right now, so he has 1 stop more than everybody, but he didn't lose that much time.
No, it's given him a good opportunity to come back into the race, and naturally, given the fact he's got medium tyres on, he can then battle against the likes of Twin Barrel and Leonard and Zenami. But they're now away now at the restart now, and Veloce Danny is taking them round the Niki Lauda curve, bombing up now towards the straight, leading up towards Remus now, and the Alfa Romeo in hot pursuit with Yenub, who is just in behind him in the Williams. And that light blue and white livery now closing up on the back end of the Alfa Romeo car as they make their way around Remus now. You can see the streams of cars there. Scrippy is overtaken there. He is going mano a mano with Speed Barry, but Speed Barry shows that turn of foot, moves into P4 now, and he's closing the gap with Verstappen. Jarno Opmeer has now got a hassle between him and Speed Barry, and he's going down the inside. Speed Barry shuts the door, but he still gets through as Jarno Opmeer, and he gets P5. The 2 championship leaders going toe to toe. Jarno's not letting another driver get in the way. He wants to sell this here and now, here at Austria, as they make their way around the next curve now, leading towards the final few bends. The Jochenrindt curve dead ahead as they make their way down now, following Ark Verstappen in the McLaren. Speed Barry closing in on the back back end of that orange car, leading round towards the Red Bull Mobile curve now, heading towards the straight, the paddock on the right-hand side. And as you can see, Speed Barry now, the DRS still not yet reactivated yet, as they make their way down towards the first corner, and Jarno had a little look there on the inside. It looked like he might have had a chance to snoop down the inside of Verstappen. I think that was him anyway. Sorry, no, it was Speed Barry, but Jarno is in close proximity. I keep forgetting he's not in the Mercedes today. Speed Barry dives down the inside. What a beautiful move down the inside at Remus, and Jarno Watmere following suit here as they make their way down towards Schlossgold. Jarno Watmere doing battle here with the McLaren. It's Williams versus the McLaren. The battle between the great English constructors, and Jarno Watmere wins it for Williams. He moves up to P4. It really is a battle to savour, Maku.
Yeah, meanwhile with Steve fighting up against, he was behind James Baldwin after the safety car start, and got his place in front of James Baldwin and even in front of Scriffy. And he's now, I think, already a little bit of a gap, like 1 second or something. Yeah.
Well, that Red Bull of Hayes also having a look down the inside of Kruzich. They both share the same clan tags, but I'm sure there are no friends here on this circuit, I can assure you. As you can see, the Red Bull still very much in the eyesight of that Racing Point. You can just see him dead ahead as they make their way around the Niki Lauda curve. We are in lap 14 of 36 here, folks, and don't take your face from the TV sets. It has surely been a tremendous battle as Jarno Watmere dives inside the inside of Jeneb, and the two teammates fire in there, and you can see Speed Barry's been knocked down to P4. Jarno Watmere with a double overtake, no less, moves into P2. What a move there from the Williams driver, and Jeneb separates the two. Speed Barry relegated to P5, and he's just about to lose out to Steve here. The prancing horse of the Ferrari prancing down the outside of the Silver Arrows as they make their way down towards the double left-hander, and McLaren gets between them, but the prancing horse fights in, gets his place. P5 for Steve. Didn't I say he was running well? He's running well today. P5 for the Ferrari driver.
And Speed Barry, really bad time. Like, dropped 3 places down. He was down behind Jarno on on position 3, and now he's on position 6, so he has to fight up. And we still have Verstappen and Jeneb here up in the standings, even though they have to pit, and I think the other drivers are a little bit faster, though the difference between the speed of the drivers is not that much.
There certainly is a lot between them. Steve going for yet another heroic move down the inside there, and he actually gets the advantage on Verstappen. Steve having a phenomenal drive in that prancing horse, taking every gamble he can, and Speed Barry, as a result, has moved up to P5. He is now chasing the back end of Steve, and no doubt they got unfinished business as they make their way down Schlossgold, and James Baldwin also making a prosaic move in the Alfa Romeo, going round Schlossgold, and he poaches P6 off Verstappen there, and he is chasing the back end of Speed Barry. He's not letting that Silver Arrows go at all as they make their way around the next left-hander, soon to be met with lap 15, the end of lap 15, heading into lap 16 of 36 here at Austria. And as you can see, looking further up, Veloci Danny still holding on to his P1 position. Jarno Watmere, though, in hot pursuit. It's almost like a recap of Esports Pro Series from last season. These guys not leaving anything to waste here as they make their way around the Niki Lauda curve there. They're looking, I've got to say, they're in serious business here. You can see Formula Danny just in front of Jarno Watmere, and I'm sure Jarno would like to make a statement here and now by removing the head of this Alfa Romeo driver as they come round. I know it's a bit graphic there, to be fair. I wish probably shouldn't have said that, but no, they're coming down on the back stretch towards Schlossgold now. But yes, it is a battle in it. It's a battle. You've got to fight it out on track. But Maku, these guys gonna give us a show, no doubt.
Yeah, clearly it's clearly an amazing show, an amazing race tonight, and we've just seen Stephen Speedberry both. Stephen Speedberry both passing Janeb, and shortly after that with James Baldwin passing him. So we've now like the top 5 drivers, I would say, for tonight in the top 5 spots, but Formulani still needs to pit.
He does, but I got to say he's managing those 15-lap old medium tyres to the best of his ability, and I got to say he's doing a tremendous job. Jarno Watmere, though, still very much in the slipstream of that Alfa Romeo, and Steve, who is having a a phenomenal drive now. He's managing to cut the gap, I think, down by about 5/10. He was 2.5 seconds, I believe, away from Jarno Opmeer. That gap is starting to slim. And just bear in mind as well, another man who has DRS, that is Speed Barry. As we look, and he makes an overtake now on Steve now, and he dives in on the inside before the Remus curve, gets the job done, but Steve on the outset, what defending, what battling, as they make their way down towards Schloss Goal. The DRS is open, the Ferrari doing battle with the Mercedes once again. We've seen this countless times last season, but Speed Barry holds firm, he maintains P3, and we have got the battle of the triple up front now. Veloci Danny, Jarno Opmeer, and Speed Barry, Ps 1, 2 and 3, folks. Don't take your eyes away from this one.
And we're still Krusix and Verstappen battling, with Verstappen looking down. Now it's the inside again, through the last part of the corner.
Here comes Hayes as well. Hayes on the outside. He's making a move, and he's done it. He's taken out Verstappen there. Very nearly taken them both out, actually. They nearly went for a little ride as they make their way around now. Hayes managing to keep control of the car, and the Haas there, and Michael Tornitsa on the outside now of Verstappen, but no, he chances out of it. Doesn't want to make that too much of a crucial move. We are in lap 18 of 36. We are halfway through as we look further up now. Jarno Opmeer downing on the outside of Formula Danny. He has done it. He's got the fresher tyres, but can Formula Danny get the tag back? Not this time, though he will have DRS down towards Schloss Gold now as they make their way down towards that swing-in right-hander. You can see Jarno just in front. He does have probably the better tyres on at this point. You just see Formula Danny's car maybe just sliding slightly there under the asphalt of the circuit, heading round towards the next corner now, and very soon they'll be tackling the Firth and Roche curve that they are now. As you can see behind, Speed Barry has managed to trump the time now down to a second. Remember, it was 2 seconds previously that Steve had behind Formula Danny. Speed Barry really starting to go to work there, and he is lumberjacking at those lap times now as we now see him run down with those fresher medium tyres. Not exactly fresh, but fresher than what Formula Danny's got on. He's got 17 lap old mediums on, nearly double what Speed Barry has as they make their way down the straight with the DRS open now. Does the Mercedes car making his way round the Niki Lauda curve, and I gotta say, this may only be lap 19. Remember, we got more of this, Maku. We got more of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of follow. We will see then Speed Barry and Jarno Opmeer battle again as soon as Formula Danny will go to the pits. And no, but it looks like Formula Danny's dropping a little bit behind. The gap is now like over a second, and Speed Barry is really close at the moment.
Certainly is, and he's actually closed down very rapidly towards the back end of Formula Danny. Speed Barry is no slouch. We haven't seen a lot of him outside ORL, and I've got to say, he's a great guy to talk to. I've had many a conversation with him over many times. Very, very nice, very nice bloke, and I've got to say, I wish him all the very best. He's been a real grand servant to ORL, and he's done extremely well every week. And him and Jarno Opmeer have certainly given us a lot of battles, as well as Simon Vigang, who unfortunately isn't with us, I don't think, today. But he has given us a bit of a show as well. In fact, we've seen lots of prosaic battles in the ORL League, currently headed by the likes of Speed Barry and Jarno Opmeer. And certainly they're giving us yet another intoxicating battle here today, with Formula Danny now in P2 trying to keep the Silver Arrows of Speed Barry away, but that is going to be light-hearted now, because here comes the Silver Arrows. Here comes Speed Barry on the outside of Daniel Beresne, and he's made that move, and indeed Speed Barry moves into P2. Formula Danny now back into P3. Naturally the tyres starting to feel a little bit slick now, and I'd imagine it won't be long before he makes a stop onto the softer compound, Maku.
Yeah, for sure he's going to look for them and then take the soft, because I think from now on you could keep them on until the end, and I mean it would be a lot faster, but still then he needs to fight up the grid, because as you can see, all of the drivers are still pretty close together, and he would like drop a lot of places down. I think at least 10 or something.
Yeah, maybe look to pit maybe sooner rather than later. But remember, he can't opt for the same tyres again. He's had the mediums on all race, so remember, it's either going to be the hards or it's going to be the softs. So what's he going to pick? More than likely the softs, I'd imagine, up to the end of this race. Seems like a useless export to go for the hards right now, as he would sacrifice a lot of pace. And if he can just chance his arm on the mediums, at least for the next few laps, try and give himself an extra chance on the soft tyres. We could still see him fight and fight his way back up in the field with maybe around about 11 laps to go, perhaps.
Yeah, that should be possible. But still, he needs to last the softs last that long, the mediums, and yeah.
Yeah, well, it's only another 5 laps, isn't it, I suppose? I mean, he could probably see that through. If he can get another 5 laps down, it would give him a good chance on the softs, I would have thought.
Sure. Then he will be way faster than all of the other guys, because their mediums will be just deteriorating really quick in the end.
Certainly will. So it's a good chance now for Formula Danny to really capitalise here. The strategy might yet pay off for him. He could yet search for a podium, and indeed he does dive in the pit lane, so he opts for an earlier strategy, probably because he doesn't want to sacrifice too much of a gap between the other drivers, give himself as much of a chance to close up with the rest as possible. As we see James Baldwin now move over to P4. Alfa Romeo still very much in the picture. He is only 2 seconds behind Steve. Now remember, James Baldwin opted for the hard tyres, and he's the only one in the top 10 with the hard tyres on, and he's only got 12 laps on them. Bear in mind, the top 3 are probably going to be suffering towards the end of this Grand Prix, and naturally, this is a chance here for James Baldwin to really pile on the pressure now that his tyres will start coming into better effect.
Yeah, even though the EV hards are like, it's not the best feeling to drive on. I heard from some people that they feel like bricks. So... yeah,
they're not wrong. They're not wrong. I got to say they are. They can be really bitter to drive.
But then I answered like, they feel like bad all the time. They don't deteriorate. You don't get to know how much how bad they are in the end. You don't feel that they're getting worse.
No,
they're like already worse.
Yeah.
But, you need to get used to them, and then it should work. He just needs to find his pace, and then he can surely drive until the end and maybe get a few places.
Well, that gap between him and Steve hasn't really changed that much. He's maintained it very, very well, and I got to say, maybe that shows that he is confident on his hard tyres, but he has picked up a 3-second penalty there going around the Niki Lauda curve. But as we look further back now, Formula Danny has come out, and he's in behind Photon now here in lap 23, so he is out and about, and only 7/10 away from Photon. You'd imagine he'd eat away at the time gap between him and Photon, because he's got 13-lap-old hards on. You've got to think that Formula Danny, with over 13 laps remaining, that he has every chance of capitalising on this field, surely, Maku?
Yeah, the two former championship rivals, and Foden, I think, had some... I don't know what happened exactly, but he lost 10 places. We had him in the fight, I think, at the beginning. We had him further up in the grid, and yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't seem to happen for him. But Formula Danny pouncing on Photon there, taking him just after the Schlossgold bend, and he's now making his way round the double left-hander now on the exit now of those two curves, and he'll very soon be heading round the Jochen Rindt right-hander now as Leonard makes a move there for P10. The Racing Point moving up into the points now, in behind Zenaim in P11. Jake, though, in hot pursuit in the Renault. We haven't seen a lot of Renault in this race, to be honest with you. VSR Jake, the highest representative in the classification, currently in P12, chasing down Zenaim now. And we got a bit of a DRS train between these three. As we now look behind as well, Formula Danny coming into the fray of these three as well. As now we see Zenaim making a move on the outside, and you can see there, VSR Jake maybe looking to snoop down the outside of the latter. But as you can see, battling back is Leonard, looking for the inside, but he can't make it happen. Zenaim moves into P10. What a move, but it's not over yet, because here comes Leonard on the outside, and immediately battling it back is Zenaim. That was a very, very aggressive defensive move, and on the inside, in comes Jake. He's prancing on the inside, and he's taken the Mercedes, and now he's on the outside of the Racing Point. Can he make a double overtake happen here on the outside of the double right-hander? He can't do it, but here comes Formula Danny on the inside of Zenaim, and he's done it. On those soft tyres are certainly working. He hasn't yet escaped him yet, but I think he's got the upper hand, and he has, going around the Jochen Rindt curve. The Alfa Romeo's done it. He's up to P12, Maku.
Yeah, the fighting of those three in the front, it really helped Formula Danny to get close, and then it was just a matter of technique to get past them. And I think in Austria you can like overtake in nearly every corner if you know it. And yeah.
Well, Formula Danny now has moved up to P11. He's all over the back end of Jake, and surely he's going to make light work of this. His compounder tyres, he's making moves on this track with this soft compound now, as he makes his way up to the top of Remus, and he manages to take the Renault, move up to P10. He's in the points now, but he's got just over 3.5 seconds to find now on the next one, which is CRG Common, who's actually managed to move back up into the points, Maku, all the way from the bottom. That safety car did work for him, but can he keep those tyres fresh for as long as possible? Because naturally the grip will start falling off very, very soon.
Yeah, he will need to carry on then like 11 laps, and with 26 laps old mediums, it will be a really hard job to keep the car on the track.
Well, James Baldwin has managed to fight back 5/10 off the time between him and Steve. Steve currently 3.2 seconds behind Speed Barry, and that gap doesn't seem to be closing anytime soon. Just looking further up now, Speed Barry 3/10 behind Jarno Opmeer and tracking the Williams now as they make their way up towards Remus. No movements yet from Speed Barry. He's keeping it on the track at the moment, not making any dynamic moves on Jarno Opmeer just yet. Remember, they've still got 10 laps remaining, a lot of time left for plenty of moves as they make their way through, as we see it now. Speed Barry down the inside of Jarno Opmeer at the Slush Gold corner, and he has not made it cut, but what a dynamic effort to try and overtake Jarno Opmeer, but Jarno manages to fight back. These two giving us a show yet again. It may not be league racing like we said, folks, but these special events are still all mental. It's all about the mind games, Maku.
Yep. Speedberg just needs to get to make Jarno. He needs to make Jarno make a mistake, and as soon as he needs to try to overtake, he needs to do a fake overtake, so that Jarno tries to defend, and then he can go around the outside, for example. Yeah, it's all these mind games that you set the man in front under pressure and look for their mistakes, and then use your chance.
Well, he's got every chance here. He's going down the inside of Jarno Opmeer and down up towards Remus. And what a move there! And one we've come to expect, certainly at a track like Austria. The Silver Arrows of Speed Barry strikes the front again. He now goes 2/10 clear, but he hasn't shaken off the Williams yet as they make their way down Slosh Gold. And still, Jarno Opmeer tracking all over the back of that Silver Arrows. He gets in close, but no move can be made yet. But we've still got just under 9 laps remaining here, folks. This is not over whatsoever, Maku.
Yeah, as we've seen in Spa, but there was, I think, the other way around. Speedbar was behind Jarno all the time, and then last lap overtake.
He did. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in Austria you can do the same thing. It's just a little mistake. The circuit is pretty short, but though there's enough room for mistake.
Yeah, no, there's no move for mistake. Certainly around a track like Austria, you've got to ensure that you keep all your cars on the track, certainly keep it in the black stuff as best as you can as they make their way around these corners now. Speed Barry still leading the way, currently 2/10 away from Jarno Opmeer now. Lap 28 of 36 here. The Silver Arrow still trying to defend. Jarno Opmeer still. The Williams ever looking more dynamic here around this track. It's something you very rarely see, like we did see before. But Jarno Opmeer making it happen for them today as they head down towards Slosh Gold on the back straight now. As Formula Danny makes yet another place. This time, Camel Common is the unfortunate victim here as they make their way around Remus. So Formula Danny making another place here. James Baldwin also on the back of Steve now. He can move into P3. So Steve has got a real battle on his hands to try and keep James Baldwin away from him here as they make their way through the next double left-hander now. And the Prancing Horse looking, I got to be honest, like a bit of a sitting duck here, Maku.
Yeah, we have to keep it in mind. He's still on his heart, and I think, at the end he should have the better tires, because these hearts just keep on their bad grip until 30 laps or something. And yeah, he just needs to be patient, wait for mistakes from the other drivers, and I mean, as long as he can stick to others driving on mediums, he should be pretty happy.
I'm sure he will, because we've got Steve now being taken here by the Alfa Romeo. Here comes James Baldwin on the inside, and he does make the move going round Remus, and he's pulled it off. What a move there by the Alfa Romeo, and come to expect it here. The hard tyres coming into effect here in lap 29. The other tyres maybe starting to feel a bit of the sting here now, and does this mean that Speed Barry and Jarno Opmeer, given the fact that they're battling, will this mean that their lap times start falling off here, Maku? Because this might give James Baldwin an epic chance to take advantage here on the harder compound and take the bull by the horns here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit, but I'm not sure. They have 7 laps remaining, and James has a gap of 5 seconds, and that's a lot. And I don't think that their times are that much lower than him's, that he can catch up this far.
Well, anything can happen, certainly in Formula 1, and we'll have to... It all remains to be seen. Naturally, Alfa Romeo having a reasonable day here. Just looking further back now, Formula Danny has managed to catch up with Get Owned now, and he's now mounting up on the other Toro Rosso as they make their way up towards the Niki Lauda curve. The other Alfa Romeo of Formula Danny on the soft tyres, no doubt. They are 8 laps old. and they must be feeling maybe a little bit worse for wear than what they were. He must be absolutely thrashing them to get himself to where he is now, but he's doing a terrific job nonetheless. He is in P9 now, and remember, he started at the back of the grid, but he's got a lot of pace, and he's right on the back end now of the gearbox of that Toro Rosso now, and they go a 10th. He's just a 10th now, and he's just moved by him like a knife through butter. It was almost like he wasn't there, Maku, and he's just turned up before Slosh Gold and just drifted past him. Just drifted. That's all it was. That's all it took. And Formula Danny now in P8, only 2 seconds behind Michael Tanita in the Haas car. What phenomenal scenes. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, if you can control your oversteer, if you can have your car under control, even though it seems not to, you can use this. You know, a lot of drivers use the oversteer to get better around corners.
Yes, well, it does help. Sometimes it could be a very unlikely friend around a corner, and you can make the most of it. And if you can exploit that, if you can control it, it certainly puts you in a very good position, doesn't it? And no doubt Formula Danny has that in his locker, no doubt, as we now look further up. We're just seeing now Jarno Opmeer all over the back end of speed barrier. We're going to be seeing yet another prosaic move going down Schloss Gold. That corner proving to be a breeding ground for many a good move here in this Austrian Grand Prix as they come around towards the next double left-hander. The Mercedes doing all it can to try and hold off the advances of Jarno Opmeer and his Williams. And like you said, Maku, that gap between James Baldwin and Jarno does not seem to be closing. And I think, to be honest with you, P3 is probably the more likely finish for James Baldwin unless that time starts being reeled in sooner rather than later. But just looking behind him, Steve is not going away though, Maku. He's only 5/10 behind the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, he's still sticking to his back, and of course I think Steve is someone who also wants to win and who's also a really great driver, so he will stick to his back and wait for his opportunity to maybe get on the podium. But as you said, James Baldwin on 3rd place on the podium, you should be very happy because, you know, Jarno and Speed Barry are like top of F1 elite, and they know each other pretty well. They can like battle without even losing time, and yeah, that's just great.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Maku. Just looking on the inside, Speed Barry all over the back end of Jarno Opmeer. We just missed a tussle between the two, leading up towards Remus, where Jarno managed to fight back and hold the position, but in behind him now, Speed Barry not leaving sleeping dogs lie. He is now all over the back end of that Williams. He wants to make it happen now. We are in lap 32 of 36. We've only got 4 laps remaining here, folks. I hope you're all enjoying it there at home. James Baldwin in P3, looking further back. Veloce Formula Danny now in P7, no less. He's managed to overtake Michael Tornitsa, and I gotta say, you've got to give him driver of the day just on that basis alone. P20 to P7. What a phenomenal sequence of events there for the Alfa Romeo driver. And he's only, well, I say only, he's 3/10 behind. And Jarno Opmeer has become victim to that of Speed Barry now, heading up towards the straight. And he's got the DRS now, Jarno Opmeer, heading up towards Remus. But naturally, whoever manages to make it happen here at the Remus corner now may have DRS as well as they make their way around. And he does indeed. He manages to claim it. So he's going to go wheel to wheel now with that the Mercedes, but not yet. Speed Barry manages to shut the door there, Maku, as they made their way around Slosh Gold. Speed Barry immediately defends the position, but it's not enough as Jarno Opmeer now takes P1, but it's not over yet again because the Mercedes once again wheel to wheel with that of the Williams. He goes for a late move down the outside, and he does so. He manages to poach it back, but so does Jarno Opmeer. I can barely breathe anymore, folks. I can barely breathe, but he's done it. Jarno has done it. He is a 10th clear now of the Mercedes, but they're coming wheel to wheel again. Will they ever stop as they come round the Jochenrindt curve? And it is Speed Barry. He takes it P1 here in lap 33 and 36. They're about to start lap 34. Maku, what are we seeing?
Yeah, I think we will see a whole lap of both of them being wheel to wheel.
Oh, I can't believe this. I'm going to need surgery after this race, I tell you that now, as they made their way up towards Remus now once again. It is still Speed Barry leading the way. Jarno Opmeer right in his tailcoats at the moment. The Silver Arrows not leaving the Williams alone for 1 second here. I'm sorry, not leaving the Mercedes alone is the Williams at the moment. I got to say, they use Mercedes parts. They're showing it off here as they make their way round towards Schloss Gold now, and the Silver Arrows doing everything it can to hold off the advances of Jarno Opmeer once again. These two really giving us a dogfight here around the circuit of Austria. Speed Spielberg witnessing something really special towards the end of this Grand Prix. We are in lap 34 and 36. They're both on the same tyres. It's literally a fight to see who the better man really is, because I gotta say, you couldn't be on more equal ground, could you?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it's fantastic driving. You've seen them being next to each other, and you saw, the one on the inner line needs to brake a little bit earlier, but has then the better exit. They were always like next to each other, but no one had the really much better exit to get ahead of the other one, and with them just fighting out. And from it, any fall back to 10th. What happened?
No, we had just seen that Camel Common managing to overtake, and so Zen Aim now. I'm not sure whether that Alfa Romeo has got damage. I don't think he has. That front wing looks okay, but he's dropped down to P12, Maku. That Renault of Jake has gone past as well. And unfortunately, that means Formula Danny's dropped back, as we now revert back to the top end, because we got yet more developments happening in the race between Jarno Watmie and Speed Barry. Jarno Watmie are now in P1 as they make their way around the double left-hander, as Leonard sets the fastest time with a 1:05. And we now watch Jarno Watmie now trying to hold off the advances once again of Speed Barry. Incidentally, James Baldwin has cut the time now down to 3.3 seconds as CRG Common moves up to P8, and Formula Danny continues to drop back, Maku.
What happened there? I'm not sure what is going on. Maybe his tires are too hot, or he's just not comfortable in his car now anymore.
Maybe not, but Jarno Watmie are now trying to fend off Speed Barry. We are in the final lap, folks. This is where it's going to happen here, and I know what these two are like. These two want to win. They like to win. That's what they do, is win. And this is what we see in certainly in the ORL Racing League every week without fail. Speed Barry diving on the inside there and claims P1 of Jarno Watmie, but Jarno Watmie goes back for the overtake, and they're going wheel to wheel down towards Schlossgold, and Jarno Watmie with the DRS now. He's got the advantage, and he does move into P1 and down towards Schlossgold, but will Speed Barry make a move here? Going down the inside, Jarno defends the position as they make their way down. It's looking like it's mano a mano, but it looks like Jarno has come out on top out of Schlossgold, but will he hold it as they make their way around the double left-hander, soon to be met with another right, and they'll be met with the Jochen Rindt curve then, and who's going to remain on top? It looks like it's going to be Jarno Watmie's day, as Speed Barry drops back by 4/10 no less, as they make their way round the final couple of bends. Jarno Watmie in the Williams, subject to penalties, as he makes his way round the Red Bull Mobile curve, coming up across the line to take the checkered flag. Jarno Watmie wins the Austrian Grand Prix here at the special ORL race. Speed Barry P2, James Baldwin, what a racer to finish in third. Steve in P4, Kruzich comes home in P6 with Getone moving above him on penalties. Hayes moves into P7. Further down, you've got Camel Common. What a race from him. He was dead last, not forgetting. He's now P9. Jenab in P8. Michael Tanitsa in P10. Zen Aim in P11. And Photon is in P12. Formula Danny, though, moving back, it looks like he's spun off.
Yeah, he's spun, but I'm not sure.
He's reversing over. You never see a Grand Prix finish like that, do you? Formula Danny finishes P14 the way he likes to finish. He wants to do it backwards. don't blame him. As we look further back now, Verstappen there finishing P16, Leonard in P15, Scrippy finishes P17, Calceville come on P18. I think he got the fastest lap as well. Yeah. But what a phenomenal Grand Prix. It's been absolutely brilliant.
It was really great, yeah.
I got to say, Maku, we see a lot of dramas in the league races, but that was phenomenal. As we now see Jarno Watmie taking P1 here on the grid here on the podium here at Austria. P2, obviously Speed Barry, but we'll run through the classifications now. We'll go through them. Why not, eh? Why not? The winner here, no question, Jarno Watmie, P2. Speed Barry after going toe-to-toe with Jarno Watmie coming out in second place. I'm sure he'll get his revenge in the league. James Baldwin, though, what a race from him, finishing P3 after a great display of strategy with the hard tyres. Steve finishing in P4. Get owned in P5. Kruzich P6. Hayes in P7. Yenop in P8. Camel Common. CRG Common on his debut for CRG finishes in P9 after starting from the back of the grid. And P10, Michael Tonitsa. And Zenaim P11, Photon P12, Jake in P13, Formula Danny going backwards over the line to finish P14. A great series of overtakes starting P20, remember folks. P14 is still an improvement, credit to you sir. Leonard P15, Verstappen P16, Scrippy in P17, Calcifer 18th, Triton Matthias P19, and Twin Barrels finishes in 20th. But Maku, What? That was phenomenal. That was
What
just
a phenomenal race. Just after this one, I people like hot lap videos. I just want to see a video, Jarno and Speedberry going side by side through the whole track.
Oh well, we did see that. We did see it. I mean, it happened. Yeah. It happened. We witnessed it. It was brilliant. I mean, he came through. It was all after Remus. I got to say, that Remus corner, it tees up some great battles, because naturally, if you get the undercut, then you're going wheel to wheel down towards Schloss Gold, and as they come out of Schloss Gold, then they've got the Wirth curve, and not forgetting the Jock and Rint curve as well. If you go side by side through there, it's very likely someone's going to crash. But these two, they don't care. They just want to leave it all out on the track, on the asphalt. But every time and again, week in, week out, we see a battle between those two, and they've once again given us a real show. And credit to James Baldwin as well on a very, very good P3.
Yeah, of course. And now we maybe will have some interviews. If the guys are joining us, and I think they're all on a server, so they should be able to.
Yeah, I think we should be able to. I'm just going to quickly move us back to our other screen so we can commence these interviews. Just going to move in on here, folks. Do bear with me. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here this evening. It's been nothing short of stupendous, really, hasn't it? I mean, we've been very lucky to witness the racing we have done, Maku, and they've certainly given us some great battles here at ORL. And obviously the special races are no different here.
It was just insane what we've seen, and how they performed, every time. It's stunning.
Yeah, Jarno is in the chat. Speed Barry's just tried to escape. No, he is back. Just wait for the microphone to be unleashed now. We just got to wait for P3 as well. Is James Baldwin joining the party as well?
I hope so. He was tagged, so should hopefully join us.
Yeah. Well done, Jarno.
Thank you.
Yeah. I tell you what, it was gut-wrenching stuff towards the end, wasn't it? I gotta say, you and Speed Barry giving us a show. He was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You nearly broke my voice box. I was gonna send the hospital bill to you. Just literally waiting now for P3, James Baldwin, if possible. Just waiting. I see Maku tapping away there.
Let's see.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate. Yeah. Did you see Danny's phenomenal finish?
No.
It was superb. It was. He actually finished. He finished backwards. He came around the Red Bull Mobile curve backwards, and over the line backwards as well. It was something to be admired.
Yeah, this race was good, to be honest.
Really good.
Yeah.
I'm checking Daniel's finish.
GG Honor.
GG, man. That was an interesting race.
Yeah, it was absolute it was like fighting for the lead till last lap, but you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a question. That I think you hit my back. I don't know. Is it a desync or I don't know. I just wanna question. You really hit my back or it was a desync?
He did it on purpose.
Okay.
I heard him. He said, "Right, I'm going to take him out now. You watch this." He said,
No, he fully deserved it.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great to see. You know, me and Maku were very lucky to watch it where we were.
Yeah.
I think James is with us as well. I think he's
Hello.
Hanging it here. There he is. Look, there's James. Welcome to the chat, James. Congratulations, my friend.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, superb that was. It was.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
I haven't league raced for like a little while now, so this was like getting back into it, and I chose the wrong tyre. I kept on going off and getting penalties, so yeah,
No,
not the greatest race in the world, but not too bad. Really good fun.
I thought you showed your smarts there, to be honest with you. I mean, I thought that was a very prosaic move, putting the hard tyres on. I was very impressed. I thought, yeah, he's going for broke here. One-stop strategy.
Nah. Well, I thought the mediums would degrade a bit quicker, but they didn't.
No.
Unfortunately.
No, the guys. I mean, I said to Maku towards the end of the race, I said, well, the way things are set here, Jarno and Speed Barry had 20-odd lap medium tyres on. I said, well, the way it's going, I mean, he's cut it down to 3.5 seconds. Maybe there's a chance for him to...
Maybe, yeah, if they battled a bit more, but I mean, those two are quick, so GG to you two.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but even more battle was nearly not possible, so yeah.
Yeah. Could we see you now as a regular fixture at ORL now, James? Can we make this happen?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get like playing my F1 more than I have been. So yeah, I mean, my Thursdays. I think everyone's Thursdays at the moment are pretty free, considering what's going on in the world at the moment. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing it.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, well, maybe we'll see some more prosaic strategy manoeuvres from James Baldwin in the future. So that'd be brilliant.
To be fair, I blame my stream chat because I came in, I had the mediums ready, and I looked up on my chat and it said hards.
Oh,
So
you
like,
fool!
God,
You fool!
I fell for it.
No, well, to be fair, it paid off in the end. You got yourself a podium. You know, it's not too bad. You can't knock that, and you would have got serious points for that if you were in the league. You know, so that's not bad at all. But no, congratulations on that, and on a P3, and I hope we'll get to see you in the league in the near future. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, see you next week.
Yeah, nice one, great stuff. We'll move swiftly on to Speed Barry now. Speed Barry giving us a real battle with Jarno Opmeer there, and unfortunately someone had to lose at some point, didn't they? But Speed Barry, talk us through it. What a race! I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah. Actually, what a race, and congrats to Jarno. And actually, I want to speak about the quali. When just I don't know what. Just the last time I just went for the with a soft. The track was so slippery, and I haven't got a good banker. And actually, I just drive really safe, and then just get a P2, and I was so happy. But in the start, me and Jarno just push, I think, I don't know, but we just break the DRS from the other guy, and then when the safety car came out, I think I did finally, because I did a good strategy, because I lost 3 races in the ORL, and it was wrong strategy in the safety car. But yeah, just what I can say, it was a brilliant race, and well done to Jarno, and congrats to him, and GG to James.
yeah, absolutely. Well, where do you think this is going to take us when we go back to league racing? I mean, naturally, we were saying, me and Maku were saying that despite it being a special race, you guys are certainly not going to, let sleeping dogs lie. You're going to keep fighting and battling and keep fighting tooth and nail to, obviously, I suppose it's a mental battle, isn't it, as well, at the same time of being a battle on the track. Certainly if you can get a win against your main competitor, that really does give you a big confidence boost going into the start of the league race.
Yeah, I'm trying my best, and we will see what just happened.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, we'll look forward to seeing you again, hopefully in the podium spots once again. But we'll move on to our P1 finisher. And Jarno, I've got to start that pole lap right at the death. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't the pressure for the real league race, but it's a shame. I think I could have gone a bit faster. I got blocked a little bit in the last sector, so that was a shame. But yeah, the walk qualifying was pretty good.
Yeah, well, it was strange because it was a weird session because we had a bit of rain at the start. People were qualifying on intermediates. Then all of a sudden there was a couple of soft tyres coming in and out, but it looked like as time was whittling down, there were a lot of the faster drivers who seemed to be running out of time to set fast laps. But just right at the death there, no pressure, it seemed like. you notched it onto P1. I mean, were you under any pressure at that point? Do you still feel pressure even in a special, in a maybe not so much of a competitive race, but a race nonetheless, to set a lap like that? I mean, that is superb.
Yeah, always the last run is obviously always a lot of pressure, but I think I did quite a good job.
It doesn't help when the time's whittling down, does it? When the clock's ticking, you can hear it coming down.
And with the drying up track as well, I think in the end the track was still not how it should be. But in the end, just no big mistakes, quite good on the limit. So yeah, that was a good qualified lap.
No, absolutely. Well, it certainly put you in good stead in the race. And tyre degradation towards the end, how did you find those mediums? Because like we were saying to James earlier on, when he put the hard tyres on and went for the one stop, how were those mediums feeling towards the end of the race? Were they feeling slippery, or did you manage to maintain them okay?
Yeah, the race got away quite a lot, especially from in the hard traction zones. I struggled with oversteer, but yeah, they were not completely finished yet, so it was enough to battle towards the end of the race.
No, absolutely. Well, congratulations on taking that P1, and you've certainly done yourself credit there. In fact, all of you have to put a spectacle like that on. And that goes for all the drivers in this league as well. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us here at the ORL Racing Channel. It's been nothing short of brilliant. Big thank you to P1 Jarno, congratulations. P2's Speed Barry, and P3 James Baldwin as well. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
cheers.
All of you.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. See ya.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. So that's it, Maku. That's it from this week's special. But I got to say, no doubt, no less competitive and no less exciting.
Yeah, of course, and I think we'll see that next week again, even more competitive than starting with again with the season, with the regular season, with Jarno and Speedberry fighting for the championship.
And interesting to hear that James Baldwin will be back next week as well. He's not going down without a fight. Could we see him go any better than what he did today, folks? So you'll have to stay tuned and find out next week. And hopefully we'll see a lot of these guys back again with a vengeance next week. But from me, ladies and gentlemen, me and Maku, it's been a pleasure bringing you this cast here this evening. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Please don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the ORL Racing channel and prepare yourself for even more intense action. Remember, 7:45 next week is when we'll get ready to start yet another special event, because I think we've got yet another week off, haven't we, Maku?
No, I think the next one will be pretty soon. The next one is America, and it should be next week, right?
Oh, is it? Radio? Okay.
16.
It is. Yes.
Yeah,
it is. Yep, spot on. Yes, we're at the Circuit of the Americas next week for the restart of the league racing here at the ORL League channel. So please join us for that. It's going to be superb. The 16th of April. Put it in your diaries. Don't forget it. But from me, George Morgan, and Maku, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See you next week. Goodbye.